Hey everybody, Phil Crew here, Comedy Cigars and Music, and today's cigar for review is the Medrano Cigars Five-Four. Off the foot and wrapper, I'm getting a very subtle raisin and earth, and that is one dark wrapper. And speaking of the wrapper, that is a Mexican San Andrés wrapper, the binder is from Honduras, and the fillers are from the Dominican Republic and Nicaragua. And I would also like to thank Medrano Cigars for sending this in for sample and review. Alright, I don't know if you can see that, but smoke is just pouring off this cigar. That's how it's been since light up, obviously. So, flavor-wise, just the slightest hint of cocoa when that smoke starts coming in, and then this earth and butter kind of take over through the draws, okay? On the Retrohale, just a little bit of earth and coffee, pretty mild in the Retrohale. And on the finish, just some mild coffee, just a little bit of spice in there. And there is just a little bit of bitterness that comes in towards the end there, but it kind of fades away fairly quickly. So, pretty good start. The draw and the smoke output are, obviously you saw with the smoke output, it's awesome. Still smoking here. And the draw has also been really good. So, no complaints on that. Smoke in here. All right, so you know what? Let me tap that ash off real quick. Okay, so flavor-wise, really nothing has changed since the light up. So on the draws there, you have just a hint of cocoa, some earth and butter, and then on the Retrohale, there's some mild coffee and earth, and then on the finish, still that mild coffee, a subtle spice, and there is still that bitterness on the tongue a little bit there. So the aroma is very odd. So I had the torpedo in the Medrano, I want to say maybe like a week ago or something. Might not have been quite that long, but I want to say about a week ago. And I noticed the aroma off the cigar was, and I kid you not, it reminded me of this like inflatable pool toy was the aroma. And I thought maybe it was something up with my nose or I don't know what. But this cigar, the Toro, is giving me the same thing. Now, there is a little bit of tobacco in there, maybe a little bit of sweetness that comes in, but then, I mean, that's real short-lived, and then that inflatable pool toy aroma takes over, so just a little odd. It could be me, which I'm not going to rule that out. So I live kind of close to a busy road here, and it never fails. Handful of times through the day, especially on the weekend, cars go zooming by, and it's not really the speed, it's those guys, or could be girls too, that rev their engine, either on like motorcycles or sports car. You know, for like teenagers, I can understand that, but when I kind of catch a glimpse and it looks like a guy my age or older, I just kind of wonder, who hurt you when you were a child? All right, rounding out the second third here, guys. So when I pull that smoke in, nice heavy smoke output, as you guys can see. And that smoke has now started getting creamy, which is very nice. Right when I pull that in, that creaminess kind of comes in, and then I get this nice dark chocolate and fruit. And sometimes I only get one or the other of those, but those are pretty much always the lead here in the second third. Then we have some tobacco, just a little tobacco core in there, okay, sitting right in the middle, right after that dark chocolate or fruit. Sorry, I itched there a little bit. You got some smoke in it. And then there's some spice and this dark earth that kind of finishes it out. So once I'm blowing that smoke out, that dark earth kind of settles in just for a moment. On the Retrohale, getting some fruit, earth, and just a mild coffee in there. And then on the finish, I'm getting some dark coffee. So where I think that was a mild or subtle coffee before, that coffee has gotten a lot darker. There's a little bit of spice in there too, just a nice subtle spice, kind of right in the sweet spot where I like it. If you guys have watched my reviews before, you know that I like a little bit of spice in there. For me, it just kind of brings stuff together. That's just my personal opinion and preference. And then just leaving a nice creamy coat there too in the finish. So really good. This cigar has transitioned very well. The only issues I've really had with the cigar, to be honest, are the burn. I don't think I mentioned it, but I had 2 burn touch-ups in the first third, and then I have had 1 burn touch-up here in the second third as well. And those are pretty major burn touch-ups I've had to do. They've kind of covered like half of the cigar. So not a big deal, but just worth noting the burn touch-ups have been really the only thing that's been an issue, and not that big of an issue really. So earlier this morning I was reading a magazine article from an actual physical magazine. I'm kind of old school that way. I like reading actual physical books and magazines. Anyway, I get this one magazine. It's a musician-oriented magazine. And in this quote this one guy has, they're asking him about if he finds anything to be hard. And he says, "Nothing is hard, it's just challenging." Which I just always find that interesting, people that like change words. They're basically the same thing, but they just reword it to make it not sound like the word that was just said. I had a guy that I was in a band with one time. And I remember we were talking about doing our introductions, because when you're in a band, not every band does this, but sometimes when you're in a band, you'll set up like, okay, here's where we're, after song 5, we'll introduce the band or whatever. And anyway, I don't know if I was supposed to introduce him or what, but I said, yeah, and our guitarist, and I said his name just in practice. And immediately he informed me, and this is his actual voice too, "I'm not a guitarist, okay? I'm not a guitarist. What I do is I play notes and put them together to make up music which forms into songs." My immediate question to him was, what is it that you play though? I play guitar. Okay. All right. We are rounding out the cigar here. Flavor-wise, we have some fruit, dark chocolate, and coffee here in this final third. Earth, fruit, and leather on the Retrohale. And then some coffee, that subtle spice, and some leather on the finish. And that finish, still very creamy, like that. I did have 2 more fairly major burn touch-ups here in the final third. Smoke is still pouring off that cigar, as you guys might be able to see. It's been kind of the running theme of this review here. Tons of smoke, not going to complain about that. Rating this cigar, on a scale of 4, I would give this cigar a 2 3/4. Smoke for days. The draw was excellent, the transitions were nice, and yeah, smoke output. Already covered that, and I think you can see it. Smoke time for this cigar came out to 2 hours and 4 minutes. As always, guys, thanks for joining me. If you enjoyed this review, enjoyed other videos, other reviews, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Make sure to leave all your questions and comments below. I'll get to them as they come along. Until next time, guys, be cool to each other, and we'll see you soon.
Oh, such things will about my house to mess and compounding. Well, the way to the world, where I should have known my soul. Well, the news and the company.